Former lovers of Johnny Depp have spoken up on how extraordinarily kind Johnny had been to them. We are talking about Winona Ryder and Vanessa Paradis, who have come forward in the courts to describe their experience with Johnny Depp. As we all know, Amber Heard's accusations on Johnny Depp have somewhat tainted his reputation. In such circumstances, the word of his former partners is likely to carry a lot of weight in the ongoing U.S. libel case between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Former lovers of Johnny Depp defended him against Amber Heard. Amber Heard's legal team, Heard and Charlson Bradhoff, Cohen and Brown PC, and Woods Roger PC attorneys declares a supplemental plea in bar stating, giving full effect to the UK judgments necessitates a finding that statements in the op-ed published in the Washington Post are true. Mr. Depp committed domestic violence against Ms. Heard on many occasions, causing her to fear for her life. Therefore, as a matter of law, Depp cannot prevail on any of his claims, and Depp's complaint against Ms. Heard should be dismissed in its entirety, adds the April 13 filing that recently appeared on the Fairfax County docket. Wild punches and trashed rooms, lopped off fingertip, and many other things. But is it true that Johnny Depp is so close to defeating Amber Heard in a defamation case? Make sure you stay till the end to know Johnny Depp's odds of winning the case. The fact that Johnny Depp recently failed to secure an appeal in the wife-beater verdict against him in Britain is causing consequences on his other legal battles in the U.S. Amber Heard's lawyers state that Johnny Depp's stateside $50 million defamation lawsuit against Amber Heard should be dismissed. As the more than two-decade matter crawls toward its newish April 11, 2022 trial start date, Amber Heard has requested a May 28 hearing on her plea filing in front of Judge Penny Asgarati, who was assigned to the case last month by Chief Judge Bruce White. Amber Heard's failed plan to destroy Johnny Depp in the past probably made her try some new ideas. Now she's looking far ahead with a new strategy, probably will help her gain a sure-footed move in the U.S. court. The actress seems to be absolutely desperate as she got nothing to lose. She has already. The law. British libel law works differently from the American version. In short, in the United States, the burden of proof for libel is on the person claiming to have been libeled. That is, the plaintiff has to demonstrate that what was written is false, at least in the cases involving matters of public concern. In the United Kingdom, the burden of proof is on the party accused of libel. That is, the Sun had to prove that what is published about Depp was true. A judge held that it had met that burden and that 12 of 14 of Heard's accusations of abuse met the threshold for truth in civil court. Depp's attorneys say that they plan to appeal. Depp is also suing Heard for defamation in a U.S. court after she published an op-ed in the Washington Post identifying herself as a survivor of sexual and physical violence. Depp isn't just the loser here legally, he has also clearly lost the plot. The whole goal of the lawsuit was ostensibly to rehabilitate his reputation. And certainly if Depp is telling the truth, a lot of fans who gathered outside the courthouse are tweeting #Justice for Johnny Depp believe he's the real victim here. One can understand why he would want to clear his name, but by filing multiple lawsuits, Depp is only prolonging and expanding the coverage, reminding people of it and bringing it to new people's attention. He's not rehabilitating his reputation. He's further tarnishing it. First, the facts. Depp and Heard met when she was just 22 and he was a 45-year-old father of two living with his longtime partner, Vanessa Paradis. A few years later, Depp and Heard married and soon divorced. Just before the divorce, Heard filed for a restraining order and photographers captured the mark on her face as she walked in and out of the Los Angeles court. Heard's allegations that Depp had physically and verbally abused her while using drugs and alcohol were soon widely publicized. Depp has always denied them, saying that in reality, Heard had abused him, made so many mistakes and lied several times, and almost every time she was caught lying. But what if her plan can actually work? Because for now, it seems like her legal team is a little bit pushing. According to all the testimony and evidence presented at that trial and Justice Nichols' decree, Amber Heard's team believes once again that the March 2019 filed Virginia suit should be DOA. Depp cannot litigate these factual issues, and as a result of their preclusion, he cannot claim that the statements are false and actionable under Virginia defamation law, so his claims are barred as a matter of law, the plea filing states. And whether Depp is telling the truth or not, in a court of law, just held that Heard is a truthful one here. Libel law goes beyond just these two people or even the right of tabloids to publish whatever they want about celebrities with little fear of reprisal. Under British law, people can sue for libel and win if the people or entities they are using can't prove that the claims they made were true. Intimate partner violence remains underreported, stigmatized, and often still in the shadows. The barriers to coming forward are already high, and most women who suffer violence from loved ones never speak out publicly. For abuse victims, the threat of a lawsuit, especially if the abuser has the resources to sue, can be yet another muzzle. As she left the building, she found herself surrounded by photographers, journalists, and film crews. On her cheek was what appeared to be a mark. The court was also shown photographs of what looked like facial bruising. She said Depp had violently attacked her and in a rage had thrown a mobile phone at her face with extreme force. There were also allegations of other incidents of domestic violence. She said she had endured excessive emotional, verbal, and physical abuse and angry, hostile, humiliating, and threatening assaults. Depp denied the abuse. At the heart of the case, this was his assertion that the allegations of physical abuse were an elaborate hoax. Depp employed one of the best-known libel barristers in the country to try to prove the claims were untrue. Obviously, there are costs for the falsely accused, too. Having a damaging falsity spread about you is no small inconvenience, especially for those who don't have millions in the bank to fall back on. But filing a lawsuit and proving significant damage is an uphill battle, especially in the United States, where average people need to prove that what was said about them is false. The American system lets more speech stand and gives survivors more leeway to speak out, but that has costs too. After all, more defamation cases aren't about domestic violence, but are about other damaging allegedly false claims. And both the US and the UK abusers with the resources can always threaten libel suits. Even if they lose, they may very well have drained the victims of their money and resolve. This is a real barrier for survivors of intimate partner violence who often go to great lengths to hide the abuse they are suffering and don't typically carefully document every incident.